Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my Southern Kitchen. My name is Ellen. I am a die-hard fan of seafood. So today I'm going to share with y'all a great weeknight dinner recipe that your whole family is going to love and enjoy. We're going to make seafood rice. And my friends, it is so simple and easy to make. The bomb.com delicious, and the best part is all in one pot. Y'all be going back for seconds. And I'll post a complete recipe along with the instructions down in the description box below. Also check out my previous video, lemon sweet iced tea. I'll post the link to that down in the description box below. So grab your rice, your seafood, and get your pot heating up sugar, because we're about to cook some seafood rice magic in my Southern kitchen. Here we go. Alright, my friends, the first step we're going to do is prep our shrimp stock. In my large pot, I have a pound of shrimp shells and I fill it up with water. My fire is on high heat and all we do is bring it to a boil. Alright, my friends, our water has came to a boil, so now we're going to cut the heat off and let it sit for 20 minutes. Alright, my friends, it's been 20 minutes, and how simple and easy was that? We got homemade shrimp stock, and off camera, I pour in 4 cups into my measuring cup for later when we cook our seafood rice. Now we're going to set this aside. Time to prep the rice. We need 2 cups of long grain white rice. Going to pour it into my measuring cup. That's 1 cup, and we're going to pour it into my medium bowl. We need 1 more. And 2. So that's our 2 cups of rice. Now we're going to head to the sink. Going to turn on the water and rinse it. It's very important to rinse your rice to get rid of all the starch, and it will help the grains separate. Now I'm going to strain it. I'm going to pour it back into my bowl and rinse it 1 more time. Just repeat the process. Okie dokie, our rice is nice and rinsed. Going to set this aside while we prep our vegetables. On my cutting board, I have a 1 large yellow onion, or you can use white, 1 green bell pepper, and 2 cloves of garlic. Going to dice up the onion and bell pepper and mince the garlic, and I rinse them. Alright, my friends, I am through prepping my vegetables, and over here in this bowl I have a pound of frozen crawfish tails that I thawed, and in this bowl I have the crawfish fat and a little water. And my friends, please don't skip this step. It's going to take our seafood rice to the next level. Alrighty, everything is good to go now. We are ready to cook our seafood rice. Over here on my stove top, I have my large pot. My fire is on medium-high heat. We're going to add in a tablespoon of canola oil, or you can use vegetable or olive oil. Going to twirl it around so it can coat the bottom of the pot. And all we do is let it get hot. And as soon as it gets hot, I'll bring you back. Alright, my friends, the pot and oil is nice and hot. Time to add in the seafood. 1 pound of jumbo shrimp that I rinsed, peeled, and deveined, and the crawfish tails. Into our seafood, we're going to add in a 1/2 tablespoon of creole seasoning, or you can use cajun seasoning. Give it a stir until it's well combined. Going to let the seafood cook for 15 minutes until the shrimp turned pink. And be careful not to overcook crawfish because it's already fully cooked. We just want to heat it through. And I'll bring you back. Alright, my friends, I am through cooking my shrimp and crawfish. Now we are going to take them out of the pot. Alrighty, I set my shrimp and crawfish to the side. So now into our pot, we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter and we're going to let it melt. And as soon as it melts, I'll bring you back. Alright, my friends, the butter has melted. Now we're going to add in our diced onion and our diced bell pepper. Give it a stir until it's well incorporated. So now we're going to let the veggies cook until they're translucent, about 3 minutes. My friends, it smells so good up in here. Nothing like the smell of onion and bell pepper cooking. And when we add the garlic, it's going to smell even better. Now it's time to add it in. Stir the garlic in and let it cook for only 30 seconds. Be careful because if you burn garlic, it will taste bitter. Alright, my friends, it's been 30 seconds. Now it's time to add in the remaining ingredients. The crawfish fat, our washed rice, our homemade shrimp stock, again that's 4 cups, and our yummy spices, a half a tablespoon of creole seasoning, 1 tablespoon each of dry thyme, onion powder, and garlic powder, and kosher salt and white pepper, or you can use black pepper to taste. Stir that in until it's well blended. And this is the part right here when you taste it to see if it needs any more salt and pepper. So I'm going to give it a quick taste. Needs just a little bit more kosher salt. Perfect. So now I'm going to cut my fire up to high, and all we do is bring it to a boil. Alright, my friends, the rice has came to a boil, so now we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Going to cut the fire down to medium-low, cover the pot, and let it simmer for 25 minutes until the rice is tender, and I'll bring you back. Alright, my friends, let's check on the rice. Oh yes, gorgeous! Perfectly cooked rice. So now it's time to add in our seafood and stir it in. Alrighty, so now we're going to cover the pot and let it cook for another minute. We just want to heat the seafood back up. My friends, ready for the grand finale? Here we go. OMG, what a beautiful pot of seafood rice. And it smells heavenly up in this kitchen. Beautiful rice, crawfish, and shrimp ratio. And our seafood rice is ready to serve. So I'm about to fix me up a plate and then we'll give it a taste. Alright, my friends, I've got my plate right here. There's one more thing we gotta add to it. Some chopped green onions right on top. Just like that. Isn't that pretty? And there you have it, my friends. Seafood rice. Doesn't that look good? It is calling my name. Now it's time for the best part, the tasting. Here we go. Look at that. Please have a bite. The rice is perfectly cooked. Also the shrimp and the crawfish. Tender, sweet, succulent. The flavors are perfectly layered. This seafood rice is phenomenal, my friends. Please give this recipe a try. This deserves another bite. Yum-o. Seafood rice-licious. My friends, many thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video recipe, please give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And for more Southern magic in my kitchen, hit that subscribe button and click on the bell so that way you'll be notified when my new videos come out. Also, follow me on social media, Facebook, Ellen's Homemade Delights, and Instagram at Ellen Delights. And please send me an email, ellenshomemade@gmail.com. I would love to see your beautiful creations with my recipes. And I'll see you next time. Let's eat and much love.